All right, Jay, thank you. As part of Tiger's apology, we did hear him say that it was hard, but he had to admit that he needed help. He also mentioned that it's not what you achieve, it's what you overcome. To get a little closer look at the psychological aspects of Tiger's statement, we're joined now by Dr. Gio Valiante. He's a sports psychologist, author of the book Fearless Golf, Conquering the Mental Game. He also has worked with several members of the PGA Tour. Dr. Valiante, you were telling me you've followed Tiger for a long time now. You've seen him over a long period of time. How would you compare Tiger's psyche and how you saw him today as compared to the Tiger Woods that we're used to seeing?
Well, I'll tell you what, Dana, to watch Tiger stand at that podium and say the things he said, if you understand the type of a mindset that it takes to become a Tiger Woods, to excel at that level, these guys run very, very hot. I mean, they're thoroughbreds as far as athletes go, perfectionists. And golf is a game where you, to a degree, have to be a bit selfish. So to hear him admit those things, a little different than a normal person admitting those things, it was really interesting to see. I think he did a great job, and I do believe he was very, very sincere in that he's feeling this at a very profound level. You
talk about that level of selfishness. It seemed like an invincibility. One thing that he said, he convinced himself that the normal rules didn't apply to him. So how does somebody like a Tiger Woods then go about figuring out how to live where the normal rules do apply to them?
You know, I'm around professional athletes for the better part of 15 years, and to see the type of temptation that's thrown in front of them, it really is, to the person who's not around it, you almost can't comprehend it. I mean, it's almost whatever you want, whenever you want it, and you get surrounded by, for lack of a better word, call it an entourage. And these are people who keep telling you how great you are. They do things for you. They cover up for you. And to a degree, it's what Eric Erickson called psychosocial reciprocity. I mean, the world is your mirror, the people around you. And you get convinced that the normal rules don't apply. I've seen it with dozens of athletes. You know, I have Monday morning conversations with every one of my athletes. And one of the things that we build into that conversation to counter, you know, this process of ego building is, you know, name something that you're appreciative for, and then try to develop confidence through humility. And certainly, this is a step in that direction for Tiger.
You also, even yesterday, talked about this idea that in overcoming some adversity, that this could have a positive impact on Tiger. How may this then help Tiger in the future?
Oh boy, you know, not may. I mean, I can't imagine it not happening. Abraham Maslow one time asked the question, he's a famous psychologist, and Maslow asked the question, how much do you want to protect an individual from grief? You know, if you have a child, for example, every time he gets in trouble, you're a parent, you bail him out, and you're protecting him. Because over the course of the long haul of life, real growth in the deep, profound psychological sense only comes from experiencing grief. And so athletes who get protected from having to deal with adversity and grief never grow psychologically. So growth through grief is built in to the fundamental path of a fulfilling life. So this grief, as hard as it is for Tiger, I mean, this is so good, I think, for his overall growth as a human being.
He mentioned that tomorrow he will be going back to rehab. He spent 45 days there already. What is ahead for him in that rehab process, as far as you know from some general terms, I guess?
Well, you know, again, what we're talking about here is a process of belief conversion. If you want to think of it this way, beliefs start out in a plastic, like wet cement. And with wet cement, you can you know, move it around and shape it. And that's what parents do with their children. But at a certain age, just as cement hardens, our beliefs harden. And Tiger Woods, as a 34-year-old man, has a belief system that is wonderful for the game of golf. It's wonderful for a competitive athlete. In many ways, it's very self-centered and very selfish. And those same beliefs that allow him to be an incredibly good golfer are the beliefs that got him in trouble off the golf course. So again, when he said, hey, this is the first step, you're talking about belief conversion, which does not happen overnight. It's one of the things that we say, these are battles that you have to win every day of your life. You wake up and you got to win it one day at a time. And so he's in store for belief conversion, which is going to be a long process.
Dr. Gio Valiante, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Again, the book is Fearless Golf, Conquering the Mental Game. You're welcome. We've got a lot more coming up for you, obviously, as we continue to follow Tiger Woods. We heard some